Good evening. This is Talking in Board Games. I'm your host, Jay Bruce, and tonight we have our guest,
David Ng.
So tonight we've got a board game with us. This is Chinese checkers we're playing. I've always liked board games, and I've always liked talking, so why not combine them? So tell us a little about yourself, David.
Well, I'm 26. I'm not single, but if I were, I would be looking. Okay.
You'd be okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So all right. So you're 26. You're single. So
I'm not single.
you're not. I'm sorry. You're
I'm
not
getting
single.
married and within a year, so
Within a year.
yeah.
All right.
So let's just see how that goes from there.
Okay. So how long have you known this girl that you're getting married to?
I've known her for about 3 years. Mm-hmm. We're long distance
Relationship.
yeah, dating. So what we do is we call each other on the phone, we message each other on Facebook and stuff like that. We talk. I buy things for her and send them to Cambodia.
She lives in Cambodia.
Yeah,
Okay. So how did you meet this Cambodian girl?
through my mom.
Through your mom. Okay. And you like her?
I like her.
You like her.
I fell in love. I'm in love,
In love with her?
happily in love with her.
I see. Well, that's good. So you said you're in love with her. Have you? Is this the first time you've been in love with somebody?
To be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
It's my first relationship with someone.
Wow.
So that's why I'm like expecting a lot to come from it. Mm-hmm. Like for it to go well.
Right. Well, it sounds like you
Yeah.
two are happy, so that's
Yeah.
good. So, all right. So tell me, she's lives in Cambodia, right? So you met her through your mother. So how, why, like you said, she's Cambodian, I would assume, right? Because she lives in Cambodia. Are you also Cambodian?
Yes, I am. I'm Cambodian American.
Okay.
So half my blood is Cambodian, half my blood is American.
I see.
But like the story I told you before we were starting the show, it was how my parents met is from
A boat from Cambodia, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry, talking for you, but they fell in love, right?
and then they had me and my brother and my sister. So that's how the family got started.
All right, so you've got 2 siblings. That's
Yeah.
big family. I've got 3 myself,
and
actually.
we were living in Lowell for
A few years.
a few years.
Few
yeah.
years.
Sorry, I can't get my words out for
It's
some
all right.
reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the cameras that are watching.
No, I understand. And so you said you lived in Lowell for a few years.
Yeah, when I was a baby, and then we moved to the D.C. area, Virginia area, for
The rest of your life, I guess.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I can't talk. I get nervous when I'm on TV.
It's fine. It's fine. And so, all right. So you said you moved to this area after the few years you spent in Lowell. How do you like it here?
I love it, man.
You love it?
Yes, there's no other words to describe it. It's just amazing how this area is growing
Yeah.
with all the metro and
People, buses, you know.
people, cities going up,
Yeah.
This town is growing. I remember not too long ago, somewhere close to the station, they haven't even built that shopping center that was close by.
Which one?
The Mosaic District. They haven't even thought of making it, and now it's up.
Now it's up. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. It's crazy how fast they, in this area specifically, I think things, for the most part, get built pretty quickly, and everybody's, very quick, I guess.
Yeah, and I remember just passing by through the bus. It used to be nothing but grass and
Yeah.
dirt. And now there's Target, Panera, there's gyms, everything, movie theater.
Right, yeah. And it's just all these things, and it's like, where did they come from, right?
Yeah, that was something.
Right now, right?
Right.
And so do you plan on like going and visiting her maybe?
Yeah. In 2015 of November,
November.
I plan to take a trip out there and to go see her.
Okay. So now that you mentioned like Cambodia, tell me like how is the like the climate and the people and like the just kind of the general feel of Cambodia? Like what would you say it is?
I would describe it as a very warm and place.
Tropical maybe?
Yeah, like the people are nice.
They're nice.
Friendly. They want to be close to you.
All right, so that's pretty good. So it sounds like it's kind of a lot of like warm tropical places. You know, the people are friendly. It's warm tropical, and so when you go there, right, to visit her, are you gonna like maybe go to the beach with her? You know,
I probably will. Then maybe dinner at like a restaurant, a nice sit-down restaurant at night.
something fancy.
Yeah.
And so you were saying it's like a tropical place. Is it like, is all of Cambodia tropical, or are there also more like urban areas to it?
There's a city called Phnom Penh, and there's some states around it, provinces that people go to go see things.
To go see things. So, like, what kind of things are you talking
Like
about?
farms, rice fields. Mostly people go to different provinces in Cambodia, visit their family for the most part of that.
Well, okay. So, like with that, because I asked you about if there are like urban places to it, and you said yes. With these, like the rice farms and stuff, those would be in more of like a rural areas of Cambodia? Or are there also like farms in the like cities, I guess?
More like, I want to say suburban type, like country type,
Country.
more country types area, because there's like grass and rice fields and cows going all across the farm and everything.
Right.
People picking up rice, growing rice.
Well, okay. So, with that, right, like, with your, I guess, soon-to-be wife, right, would you, like, go to, like, the rice fields more, or would you want to stay more towards, like, the tropical or urban or, like, rural? Like, what part of Cambodia does she live in?
She lives in the city.
In the city? Okay.
Yeah.
And so for, like, maybe to be romantic, I don't know, you could, like, go and see the city with her, you know, walk at night, because cities tend to be pretty nice at night.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. But there's a lot of traffic, to be clear.
Like in the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it makes it hard to walk around.
Right, yeah. So with that, like how, because actually another interesting thing, like with cities in like America, right, you've got all these like cars, right? And then you also have more like public transportation, I guess. Like you have like buses and taxis and trains. And so in Cambodia, do you also have like a lot of trains and like public transportation for people to use, or is everyone like driving around?
Well, people do drive around mostly,
Mostly.
but there are some taxis and buses, trains that take you to different parts of Cambodia. One thing you have to do is pay for your taxi and pay the driver and treat him like he's your family.
Okay.
So that means he'd have to go travel wherever you go, eat whatever you eat, sleep wherever you sleep, and make sure you're in his car to get wherever you need to go.
Like while you're eating or do you mean like
No, I mean like just in general, like you need to be with him at all times.
at all
Like he's your permanent driver.
for all of your stay in Cambodia?
Yes.
Okay.
So you need to make him feel welcome. Like basically make him feel part of your family.
That's fascinating. So,
So-
like, wow, yeah. So
There's a connection.
yeah, that's crazy, man. Because it's like with cities
Here.
and like other, yeah, here especially, but other
It's
parts
just
of
like
the world.
pass and go, like
Yeah.
hi, bye, with here. But in Cambodia, I mean, you can connect with drivers from here,
Wow.
but not on a,
A personal level, like a
Yeah.
family connection.
yeah.
Wow.
Like you actually in Cambodia, you actually bring the driver into your house and feed him dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Let him have a drink or two.
And like just treat him like he's family.
Yeah. So he'll feel comfortable driving you in his
Car.
car. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, because you never think about it like that. Because it's like here you're always just thinking about it like these people you run into. You
Like
kind
you
of
just pay them
yeah, you
to
just
take
pay
you
them
wherever you
to
need
do
to go.
the job, and then you never see him again.
Yeah.
Huh.
And even if you decide to leave Cambodia and leave that driver, he'll say, come back next year or the year before or after.
Whenever you visit again.
And then I'll drive you around somewhere. For free, even.
For free, because
Yeah.
like he just
he
feels
knows
like,
you. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
That's how it works over there. 'Cause
Wow.
I actually did that one time with my family. when
You've
I
been
went
to Cambodia?
Cambodia, yeah.
So, all right. So
Drivers have helped me with my personal problems. Like I had a fight with my dad. I cried, and the
Uh-huh.
driver asked me, "What's wrong? Can I help?"
So it's he actually like cared,
Yeah,
and he like talked you through your problems.
like I was his brother.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's something.
I know, right? I wish it was more like that over here. Like like
But then you also said like you love this area. So do you think like it would just be like a better area if everyone was more friendly with each other?
yes. Like
if we weren't-
treat everyone like their family.
And if we weren't trying to
Ask,
hop over other people
yeah,
just to get what we want.
yeah.
Huh.
So just basically treat everyone like you closely know them. I mean, that's how I look at it. Like the places I go to, I see the same people almost every single day.
Yeah, exactly. So
Like-
why not get to know them?
Yeah, I go to the same store every day. I go to the same coffee shop. I go to the same. My job is like a meeting place, basically.
Right.
And everyone there is like family.
And you just know each other.
Yeah.
And there's like this bond. That's great, honestly.
And here in the station, everyone's like family.
Mm-hmm.
Where I live, everyone's like family. Like my neighbors are really close to me, and we know each other very well. Like I look at it like everyone I pass in Virginia, D.C., and Maryland
Mm-hmm.
on an everyday basis, like mostly to the stores that I go to every day,
Right.
are like my family.
I see.
I look at it that way.
I think that's a good way to live life, honestly. You
Yeah.
know, just be friendly with each other, talk to people, make connections.
Even people on the street, I want to be nice to.
That's good.
You know, get to know them, talk to them.
And so that's interesting. You said you take the bus a lot, right?
Yeah.
And so with these people that you like meet on the bus, like do you have conversations with them?
Actually, to bring one thing up, I actually met a nice friend while waiting for the bus.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he suddenly came to me one day at the bus stop and started talking up a storm with me
About what?
about what he does for a living, about his company, his wife. And then we just started talking, and something clicked. And then he just gave me his number and said, "Hey, call me up sometime. We'll hang out."
And you have like hung out with him since
Yes.
then and like
Since
talked to
then,
him?
we've been hanging out, learning about his company. I went over to his house one time. I saw his new place. So now we're hanging out. We go to church together. See?
Yeah, no,
mean-
and I think that's like, if I had to say like what the meaning of life was, I think it would be like to just like reach out to
Get
people.
to know.
And get to know them,
Get to know everyone. You know, like this. You can. This. It.
You only have so much time on Earth, right?
I
You
know. Like, life's too short to not
Live it.
talk.
And talk to people, yeah.
Yeah.
I see. So,
Just be social and be like outgoing. I mean, that's what I try to tell myself, but sometimes I'm scared because I don't know how that person will react
right.
because they don't know me. So I mean, if I see someone at the bus stop, I'll say hi. I'll start a conversation. I'll start some small talk, like talk about the weather, how long the bus is taking to get here.
Right.
You know, like I'll be like, well, the bus is really late. Where can it be? And then they'll want to talk back to me about the bus being late.
Yeah.
And that starts a conversation
Yeah,
right
and it
there.
just kind of like builds from there, right?
Yeah.
I see.
And then that's when you make friends and, you know, you get to know a little bit about the person.
I see. Well, that's great.
I'm very passionate about meeting people for some reason. I don't know why, but
a very extroverted person.
yeah, I'm an extrovert to be honest about that part. You know, like I like to go out. It's very hard for me to stay in the house.
Yeah.
Like I can't stand to be in the house for the whole day.
Right, yeah.
I have to be out with people. Like it drives me nuts. Like if I have coffee, it's worse.
Oh, yeah, well.
Because coffee makes you move, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So,
And so I guess kind of like changing the topic a little here, because we might be
sorry.
boring our viewers with talking about getting to know people. But like I said this a little earlier, but kind of just like a crazy, like out there question. What do you think the meaning of life is?
the meaning of life is have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun with it. No, you only live once. You know? I mean,
Do what you can with it.
Yeah, you know?
Make the most of your time. Yeah.
yeah.
And so with that, right, like a lot of people, they say, you know, they're quieter or they're shy or like introverted, right? And they don't really like talking to people. Like, what would you say to people like that who don't really like going out of their way to talking to people and making these connections? Like,
Just go out of your boundaries, you know? Like, don't set yourself too high. Just if you're standing next to a person in line in the grocery store, just be like, well, how are you doing today? What are you having for dinner? Like, start a conversation. Like, do you like say,
like just make conversation, right?
Yeah.
Small talk.
weather?
And
you
then
know?
from that, like you can just build like these really powerful like relationships. with
Friendships,
people.
relationships, you know? Like, you can meet a girl that way. I mean,
You can meet, yeah.
so,
Well, that's great. Yeah. So, I guess that now that you bring it up, what are you having for dinner tonight?
well, I think our producers are gonna take us out to
To IHOP. Are you looking forward to that?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. All right. Well, that's great, man. So,
You know, when I got here a little bit early before the show started, so I'm a little bit hungry, and I had like 5 cups of coffee today.
oh my. All right. So anyway, speaking of cups of coffee and arriving to places early and feeling hungry, how do you feel about people who are like how do you feel about like being early to things, you know? Because a lot of people, they'll try to be like on time.
Fashionably late, you know.
Fashionably late. Yeah, exactly. So how do you feel about that personally?
I feel that's how I was brought up, is to be early before your meeting.
I see.
So whenever someone tells me we have a meeting or some place to meet up at, I always get there early, an hour early, just in case.
An hour, wow.
Yeah, just in case, because you never know what could happen on your way to wherever you're going.
Right.
So I get there an hour early because I always think the worst. Like, what if the bus breaks down and I can never make it out there? So I think on terms of that.
Right, yeah. And so, like, with that, I guess, do you think that other people who like to just be, like, on time or maybe fashionably late, do you think that there are any, like, benefits to, like, just being somewhere, like, on time or maybe being, like, a little bit late? Do you think that's ever, like, better than being early, I guess?
Well, if it's work, then that draws, like, positive out.
Being early draws like a positive outlook.
Yeah, on you.
But then, like with other things, like for example,
like meeting with friends, like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I
Like
see.
your friends don't care if you're early or late.
Right.
They just want you there. But
And s-
if you're too late,
well, then you miss everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, with you personally, do you you said
I'm always on time with everything. I don't know why. It's weird. And
I mean, it's a positive trait to have, you know,
Yeah.
being on time.
like I'd always leave 2 hours early my house.
2 hours early.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Wow.
I don't know why. I tell myself to stop doing that because, you know, I get hungry. I
Right.
get cranky when I'm hungry.
Especially when you've been having as many coffee cups as you said you do.
Yeah.
And so, all right, kind of a more general question, or I guess more specific, actually. With like coffee, I guess, because you've been talking a lot about it. What is your favorite like place to get coffee in the morning?
I'd want to Panera.
Panera.
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, that's my favorite place to get coffee in the morning.
Okay. So a lot of people, right? They talk about maybe like Starbucks or some of the more mainstream places, or maybe.
Well,
just,
you know, one thing with Panera is that I got a Panera points card, and I'm happy with that. So basically, I get free. It depends on how many points you get, then you get something free. Like when I registered online with my awards point Panera card, I get a free pastry. Now, I haven't used it yet. I could have used it today.
I mean, you know, if you want to give me a free pastry,
Yeah, sure, why not, right?
build some connections with each other, you know, get me a pastry. I would
But
be your
yeah,
friend.
when I applied for it, they said you're friends at Panera. You know how that made me feel like more.
And it made you want to like shop with Panera specifically? Like,
Yes.
Because they did that.
Yeah, like after you applied, the email said, "Thank you for applying. You're friends from Panera." That made me feel like close, connected.
I see.
So I'm like, now I got a place to go get my coffee in the morning.
And so with that, right? So with people, like it can be helpful to kind of reach out to people and you know make small talk, but then also like build friendships and relationships. Do you think that's also important for people who are like trying to sell things to you, and more specifically like companies like Panera?
I'd say yes. Yeah.
And it makes you feel like honored.
It makes
like,
me feel special, yeah, for them to do something like that.
I see. So how important, and this kind of, I guess, getting back into a more big picture kind of thing, but how important do you think it is for people to like feel special, I guess, and feel like wanted and needed?
100%.
100%.
Everyone wants to feel wanted. Everyone wants to feel special,
Important.
important, and needed. So I'd say use kind words, be kind to each other, and just like
Be nice, yeah.
be
Kind
loving.
and loving.
Treat your neighbors as your neighbors want to be treated.
Okay. Well, anyway, it looks like we're running out of time on this show. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. David, you were an excellent host. Thank you for coming on.
Even though I was a little nervous.
You know, we're all a little nervous on television.
Didn't have my Panera coffee.
Even though you had multiple cups of coffee.
From here, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so we're just about out of time. So, like I said before, thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in next month or whenever we have our next show.
I don't know if we're supposed